A very good afternoon to all of you. You're watching Midday News. My name is Aditi Nagpal-Girotra. Let's get the bulletin rolling with the headlines first. PM Modi to leave for Brazil for 11th BRICS Summit with the theme Economic Growth for an Innovative Future. Strengthening cooperation to be key focus. Rajya Sabha Chairman Venkaiah Naidu convenes meeting of leaders of political parties on 17th November. Meeting likely to focus on making Upper House's 250th session productive. Parliament's winter session to begin on 18th November. In Maharashtra, top Congress and NCP leaders to meet at the earliest as deadline for government formation nears, a day after Shiv Sena fails to muster numbers. NCP has time till 8:30 p.m. to stake claim for government formation. After Jammu and Kashmir's bifurcation into two union territories, train services in Kashmir Valley resume today. Union Minister Piyush Goyal says it will lead to development in Kashmir at a more rapid pace. Amid sounds of Gurbani, 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev celebrated. President Ramnath Kovind to be part of festivities at Sultanpur Lodhi in Punjab. Vice President Naidu and Prime Minister Modi also greet people. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will leave for Brazil today to attend the 11th BRICS Summit. With the theme of economic growth for an innovative future, the summit will focus on strengthening cooperations between member nations. Prime Minister Modi is expected to raise the issue of terrorism and terror financing at the summit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will leave for Brazil on Tuesday with a strong official delegation. This visit gains importance in the light of India formally announcing moving out of RCEP. On Wednesday, he will interact bilaterally with leaders of the four other BRICS nations as part of pre-summit consultations. In addition, Prime Minister Modi will also utilize the opportunity to meet leaders of other nations which are not formal members of BRICS but will participate as guests there. Later the same day, he will attend the BRICS Business Forum meet.
A large business delegation from India is also expected to be present during the visit, especially to attend the BRICS Business Forum, where the business community of all 5 countries are represented.
Prime Minister Modi will address the summit on the second day. He will address 2 sessions, one plenary that would focus on cooperation for the economic development of BRICS societies and a separate closed session that will discuss challenges and opportunities for the exercise of national sovereignty in a contemporary world. In the second session, members may also raise some issues of how not to intervene in the internal affairs of other member countries.
The meeting of BRICS leaders with BRICS Business Council will take place. During this dialogue, the chairman of the Brazilian BRICS Business Council will submit his report. There will also be another report submitted by the president of the New Development Bank.
MOUs between trade and investment promotion agencies of the BRICS nations will be signed at the end of the summit before the issuance of a joint declaration. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Let's connect with our news correspondent Akhilesh Suman and understand what's going to be the major focus of PM's visit. Akhilesh, what might be the major point of discussion for PM Modi at the BRICS summit?
You know, this big summit is taking place in the backdrop of, recently held RCEP that was held in Bangkok, and India decided to keep away from RCEP. So I think that you can understand that, economic cooperation is going to be one of the major issues when BRICS leaders are meeting. But other than economic issues, that BRICS has been considered as Security Council of the developing world. And whether it has been successful in giving so much of security and assurance to the developing world that BRICS was supposed to be. So I think Prime Minister Narendra Modi will going to make some tough talking before the counterparts when he is meeting, because BRICS is working. Okay, BRICS Bank is also working, that is New Development Bank. But whether BRICS is intervening politically in the affairs of the world, that is still a big question. And that is why there is a session that has been decided by consultation with all the stakeholders, the challenges and opportunities for the exercise of national sovereignty. This session is going to be very important because, off and on it has been seen that other countries are trying to, coerce into national sovereignty of other nations, including the BRICS members are doing so. So I think there need to be a clarity on this issue, that how politically also we can converge, because knowing fully well that India and China are the parts of BRICS nations, but we have seen in the past that there had been issues when we did not converge on certain issues, but China came out in open and criticized India. So whether, BRICS cooperation is going to sustain in political affairs also, it is a point of major consideration in this BRICS summit. And what I am getting from my sources, that can be, major discussion among the BRICS nations. So I think one is this issue. Another issue is of economic cooperation, because BRICS also has been
I'm sure
seen that
economic cooperation is definitely a point of discussion. Thank you so much for that information, Akhilesh ji. Ahead of the historic 250th session of Rajya Sabha, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu has convened a meeting of leaders of various parties in the House on November 17th. The meeting will be held at Naidu's residence. The winter session of Parliament begins on 18th November and is likely to end on 13th December. The ensuing session coincides with the 70th anniversary of adoption of the Constitution by the Constituent Assembly and celebration of the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. A parliamentary committee has asked the government to upgrade the infrastructure for cancer treatment and make it affordable. The parliamentary committee has urged the government to expand and upgrade cancer treatment infrastructure by enlarging the network of Mumbai-based Tata Memorial Centre. Expressing concern over 68% of cancer patients dying in the country, the committee submitted its report on an expanded role for the Department of Atomic Energy in cancer treatment in India through an enlarged network of the Tata Memorial Centre. Committee Chairman Jairam Ramesh, along with other members, presented the report to Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu on Monday. The panel has recommended to set up a hub and spoke model under the Tata Memorial Centre, which is a leader in cancer treatment and is supported by the Department of Atomic Energy. The committee also suggested setting up of a high-level steering committee headed by the Minister of State for Atomic Energy. Rajya Sabha Chairman Naidu complimented the committee and said he would ask the ministers concerned to examine the recommendations for necessary action. As a deadline for NCP to stake claim to form government in Maharashtra nears, state leaders of both NCP and Congress will discuss terms and conditions of government formation. With the go-ahead from Congress interim President Sonia Gandhi, senior Congress leaders K.C. Venugopal, Malika Arjun Kharge and Ahmed Patel will meet Sharad Pawar at the earliest in Mumbai today. Political drama continued in Maharashtra for yet another day after Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari invited the NCP to form government on Tuesday after the Shiv Sena failed to submit the requisite letter of support. NCP has time till 8:30 p.m. to inform the governor of its willingness to form the government. With 54 MLAs, NCP is the third largest party after BJP and Shiv Sena. The Congress has 44 MLAs.
एनसीपी और कांग्रेस इन दोनों का प्रीपोल अलायंस है। हम मिल के लड़े हैं, एक उसूलों पे लड़े हैं, इसीलिए हम दोनों मिल के बैठ के बात करके उसके बाद अंतिम फैसला लेने का सोचे हैं और हम बात कर रहे हैं। शरद पवार जी के साथ डायरेक्टली हमारे कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट से भी बात किया।
With the prospect of president's rule looming as political deadlock enters 19th day in Maharashtra today, a quick recap of all the developments in the state since the announcement of results last month. The BJP and the Shiv Sena contested as an alliance and were given a clear majority, 161 seats in the 288-member House. The other alliance of the NCP Congress got 98 seats. However, BJP and Shiv Sena failed to arrive at a consensus over government formation after both parties accused each other of failing to honor terms of the pro-alliance. CM and BJP leader Devendra Fadnavis resigned last week, a day before the term of the State Assembly ended. On Saturday, the BJP turned down Governor's invitation to form the government, citing lack of numbers. Following which, the government invited the second largest party, Shiv Sena, to form government. The Shiv Sena, short of 89 MLAs, reached out to the opposition, Congress and the NCP. After marathon discussions, the opposition parties could not arrive at a consensus for a pact with the Sena. The governor refused to give extra time to the Shiv Sena and has now given NCP, which is the third largest party in the state, time till 8:30 p.m. tonight to form the government. NCP has 54 MLAs in the assembly. Its alliance partner Congress has 44 MLAs. But the combined strength is 47 MLAs short of the halfway mark of 145 in the 288-member House. If no alliance or party expresses confidence of forming the government, the governor will have to send a report to the centre recommending president's rule in Maharashtra. With this, we'll halt in for a quick breather, but we'll be back soon. Stay tuned with us.
3 million people have now given the thumbs up to Rajya Sabha television. RSTV's growth has been phenomenal, with the journey from 2 million to 3 million being completed in less than 6 months. That's over 6,200 new subscribers every day. Our online viewers are engaging with us more actively. Every day, thousands like, share and comment on our videos. So come and join this growing tribe of RSTV viewers and get ready for an exciting journey.
How Rajya Sabha makes law on state subject. Rajya Sabha empowers the Parliament to make law on the state subject by passing a resolution by a majority of not less than 2/3 of members present and voting.
Rabindranath Tagore was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 for his book Gitanjali. In 1950, he composed the music and lyrics for India's national anthem Jana Gana Mana. And when Bangladesh became independent in 1971, they chose Tagore's song Amar Shonar Bangla as its national anthem. Tagore's life and works have made him a cultural icon, studied the world over, even into the 21st century.
Welcome back. Still with us on Media News. Train services in the Kashmir Valley, which was suspended on 3rd August ahead of the scrapping of provisions of Article 370, have resumed from today. 2 pairs of trains have resumed between Srinagar and Baramulla from today. A day ahead of resumption of services, railway officials conducted a trial run in the valley in presence of security forces. The move has come as a sigh of relief for thousands of commuters. In another move, the Jammu and Kashmir government has set up a 10-member committee to declare Srinagar's famous Dal Lake and its surrounding areas as an eco-sensitive zone, following concerns over its shrinking size. According to an assessment by the Dredging Corporation of India in 2017, pollution and encroachments have resulted in the Dal Lake shrinking from its original area of 22 square kilometers to about 10 square kilometers. The DCI also found that the world-famous lake's capacity has shrunk to about 40% and that its water quality has deteriorated. Additional Secretary of General Administrative Department Subhash Chibbar said the committee shall finalize the draft notification within a period of 1 month. And now let's take a look at the celebrations across the country for Guru Purab. The 550th birth anniversary of first Sikh Guru, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, is being celebrated today as PRAKASH PARV. Grand celebrations are being held at Golden Temple in Amritsar to commemorate the birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev. Devotees are thronging gurdwaras in Punjab and across the country, reciting hymns. Langars are being organized at gurdwaras on the occasion. Guru Nanak Dev, the founder of Sikhism, was born on the full moon day of Kartik month in 1469 in Nankana Sahib village, which is now in Pakistan. He was a philosopher, social reformer, thinker and poet. His teachings were immortalized in form of 974 hymns in the Guru Granth Sahib. The celebrations are not confined to India alone. Indian High Commission in Dubai has been decorated on this occasion. In Nepal too, many programs have been organized. At the Guru Nanak Mutt in Kathmandu, Akhand Path and Shabad Kirtan were organized. President Ramnath Kovind participated in the festivities at Sultanpur Lodhi in Kapurthala district of Punjab on 550th Prakash Parv. President Kovind paid obeisance at Gurdwara Shri Bear Sahib in Sultanpur Lodhi. The Gurdwara holds special significance as Guru Nanak Dev spent more than 15 years at Sultanpur Lodhi in Kapurthala district, and that is where he attained enlightenment. Several programs are being organized by the government and the SGPC to mark the occasion. President Ramnath Kovind wished the people on the eve of Guru Nanak's birth anniversary. In a message, the President said that the life and teachings of Guru Nanak Dev convey the ideals of love, compassion, equality and harmony. He emphasized on the need to follow the teachings of Guru Nanak Dev and build a society based on his teachings of equality, compassion and social amity. In a Twitter message, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu called Guru Nanak Dev a shining apostle who democratized religion by making spiritual truths easily understandable for common man. He said that Guru Nanak Dev's life and divine teachings will keep inspiring us to follow the path of truth and have compassion for all humankind. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that this is a day to rededicate ourselves to fulfilling Sri Guru Nanak Dev's dream of just, inclusive and harmonious society.
एक गुरु होने के साथ साथ एक विचार है, जीवन का आधार है। एक तरफ गुरु नानक देव जी ने सामाजिक दर्शन के जरिए समाज को एकता, भाईचारे और सौहार्द का रास्ता दिखाया, वहीं दूसरी तरफ उन्होंने समाज को एक ऐसी आर्थिक व्यवस्था की भेंट दी जो सच्चाई, ईमानदारी और आत्मसम्मान पर टिकी है। उन्होंने सीख दी कि सच्चाई और ईमानदारी से किए गए विकास से हमेशा तरक्की और समृद्धि के रास्ते खुलते हैं।
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said that Guru Nanak's teachings can promote peace, equality and prosperity across the globe. In an article in the Indian Express, Vice President said Guru Nanak was a great champion of equality and the differences based on caste, creed, religion and language were irrelevant for him. He called Guru Nanak's vision pragmatic and holistic. Delhi is once again in grip of severe air pollution. This morning, Delhi's air quality was back to severe levels at many places, with the national capital and adjoining regions, including Gurugram, Noida, Faridabad and Ghaziabad, engulfed by a dense smog. Anand Vihar recorded 441 on air quality index, while Rohini was at 440. On Monday, air quality in the Delhi NCR area bordered severe levels, with more farm fire plume blowing towards the region and a decrease in the wind speed and temperature. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court mandated Anti-Pollution Authority EPCA has said dirty fuel-based industries in Delhi and its suburbs will remain shut till Wednesday morning. And now let's talk about environment and climate change. A new study by Seas at Risk in Transport and Environment says that slowing down ships reduce production of greenhouse gases and marine noise. 20% reduction in the speed would cut down sulfur and nitrogen oxides by around 24% and also curb pollutants such as black carbon and nitrogen oxides. This speed limit would cut underwater noise by 66% and reduce the chances of whale collisions by 78%. Shipping generates roughly 3% of the global total of greenhouse gases. As ships travel slowly, they burn less fuel, hence cutting down the emissions significantly. Shipping wasn't covered by the Paris Climate Agreement, and yet last year the industry agreed to cut emissions by 50% by 2050 compared to 2008 levels. Proposals to reduce the speed of ships will be considered at the meeting of the International Maritime Organization in London later this week. And with this, it's a wrap on this edition of Midday News. Thank you so much for joining us.